Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. I got my Distress Oxides, the third installment, and I needed to play. So this video is all about the brand new set of oxides that came out and then some extra goodness that's happening. I will list what colors I used here, but I am picking out 3 of the new colors and randomly just going to town. So the first thing I tried to start doing, this is actually alcohol paper. It's like a smooth surface. And I was going to ink blend on it, but then I was like, nope, let's just do some dipping. So I put my inks on my craft mat, and I'm just going to spritz it with water and then just have some fun. So you've seen this technique a gazillion and one times, so there's nothing new here. But I thought when I put the colors down on the craft mat at first, I was like, ooh, I don't know how these are going to mix. And then I turned out absolutely loving it. So I took a watercolor piece, and I'm picking up some of that excess, and we'll come back to that one later. This one here, I'm just going to sop up some of that and let it air dry because it is a different kind of textured paper. And then my watercolor paper, I added some more ink, and I went back to it. The mix of these colors is so soft and so pretty. I just really, really love the way they came out. So I am going to heat set this watercolor paper, and I'm using Kansan XL for that. Okay, so I'm going to dip again because I want to add some more. And remember, with Distress Oxides, they layer on top of each other if they're dried in between. So that's exactly what I wanted. After that, I go back and I wanted to add some more of that gray. So I'm going to just do that with my ink blending tool instead of dipping it in. So I did that. And then I'm going to splatter some water, just plain water on it. And that's going to give me that beautiful distress resist kind of look. So placing down my microfiber cloth, and then you can see how that turns out. Now this over here with the alcohol paper, I wanted to try this technique with a blending tool and distress glaze. And it's not as wow with this because these colors are so light already. But you will be able to, I think, you can see a difference between the left-hand side where I did it and the right-hand side which I did not. So it kind of lifts some of that oxidation, if that's a word, up. Okay. Watercolor paper again, and now I'm pulling out some more new colors, and I am going to just be mixing. Now with this, I ended up getting like 5 different hues, but I only used 3 different colors, right? Because of our rainbow magic that we can mix through. But I used off the top of my head, it is mahogany, aged mahogany, mermaid lagoon, and squeezed lemonade. And then I got this magical rainbow here. I'm going to get some splatters on this one as well. So I'm just going to take that out and tap my water onto my panel, take my cloth and pick it up. So that is how I get this beautiful distressed finished background. All right. So going back to the first ones, I decided to make them look like the beach. Okay. So the first thing that I did, I separated them out, used some craft cardstock. That's going to be my sand. And then I used a dye to get that wavy look, and that's going to be almost like the shore. Okay, go into my craft. I'm going to add a little bit of this brown Distress Oxide because I want it to be a little bit, I don't want it to just be a flat color. And then I'm going to start putting down my different sentiments. So I used a Simon Says stamp from last summer, one of their sets. It says Time to Relax. I used a new set I picked up at Tuesday Morning, which was, oh goodness, I'll show you in a second. It's a summer set. Right here. This is Carta, and it's a summer set. It says Hello Summer. And so I use that for the next one. And then I use a third one that says Beach Please. And that is from Simon Says Stamp as well. So once I get that done, I'm going to use some really strong score tape because these have been, played with and it's a little bit of warping. So I'm going to use score tape, put that down onto the craft. I'm going to take out this beautiful pearl modeling cream, and I am going to add my surf. Okay, so where the shore hits the water, hits the sand, you get that little white, and I'm just going to add that all over. Now I'm only going to show you one, but I did go through all 4 of them, and when you do this, I didn't want to smooth it out. You kind of want to pick up your little palette knife and make it so that it looks obviously not smooth, because those white, what is that called? The waves. I think the waves. I don't know when it breaks the shore. But that's not going to be perfect, right? So that's why they came out this way. This is the dried product. So this is what it looks like when it's all finished. And I love that it just reminds me of the ocean. All right. I took out my oldie but Grady from it's from Stampin' Up. And it's Gorgeous Grunge. And that's going to add some texture on the sand because I felt like that still was too flat. So I wanted to pull this out and just add some texture. I'm adding some Nuvo glue to the back of my panels, and I'm going to cut these down actually to match. So the card base is 3.5 by 5.5, and that's going to be a cut down card, but I thought they were really super cute that way. And that was it. I wanted to mess with it more, but I said, Mary, get a hold of yourself. It's done. It's good. Move on. I did add shimmer to this watercolor piece, though, prior to, and I love the way that came out, so I just wanted to add that. Okay, moving on to my rainbow panel here. I cut out a rainbow and then a frame as well. And on the base of my card base, I'm going to lay down this really strong score tape. And I had some of this really awesome foil left over from a card kit from Hero Arts. So I am just going to place that right down and put a bone folder over it and leave it. So there we go. That's going to be my background. I am going to stamp out in Versamark and then heat emboss the sentiment for this rainbow that says, I'm here for you always. That is from a wonderful Simon Says stamp set that I have. And I want to make sure that I get this prepared and ready for a friend who's going through some hard times and want to let her know that we're all here for her. All right, I'm going to make a shaker card with this. So I'm putting down my acetate using my AdTech tape runner. And then I'm going to add the sequence onto the panel, right? Because I can't line it up the other way. So I got to figure out how to place it. And then I'm put a bunch of double mounted foam tape on the back. So I doubled it up. And that way the shakers will move around nice. I didn't add enough shaker. Do you have that problem too? I never know if I'm adding too much, if I'm adding too little, and then you stick it down and you're stuck like Chuck. You just got to live with it. So here I'm just going to add a little bit of sequence on top of that panel, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything else with this card panel. But I did have that frame left over, and I did have a panel left over from a previous video I did. So I took to my Mini Misty, and I placed down this old vintage stamp set that I have from Tim Holtz. And I am just going to stamp this out and then heat emboss it. I lost video because I was crafting so much. My camera went dead. So this is all you're going to see of this. But I'm going to show you the finished product coming up. But I'm just getting it all lined up. What I love about these types of videos for me is I get to pull out random stamps from my collection and just use them. And I think that really makes me happy because they're all sitting up there waiting to be used. And it's all the new stuff that comes out, and you get so excited about it, but you forget about what you have. So there's the finished card on that one. I just used that as the rest of the rainbow as a frame. Heat emboss that sentiment, live the life you've imagined, which I think is just inspirational for all of us and a good reminder. And that will finish up for the card. Thank you so much for joining me over here to play with these new Distress Oxides. Stuff I used will be linked below. And I'm going to leave you with some still photos here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.